Mark Hill, live in studio. Thanks for coming today and making this announcement. How are you doing?
Good, thank you. How are you, Carla?
I'm good, thanks.
Thank you again for having me this week. I know we missed you last week, but we
know.
got to meet your Phil in person.
Awesome.
Really nice.
Yeah, she's awesome.
Maddie, I think?
Mm-hmm, Maddie.
Yes. Well, again, thank you for the opportunity to join you this week to provide the community with an update. Scan out Sago, good afternoon, Six Nations. I hope this message finds you and your family safe and healthy, again, both physically and mentally, as we go through such tough times. I want to start today by going straight into our update on our community's COVID-19 case numbers. Since last Friday, the number of active cases has increased from 1 to now just 2 cases. This slight increase is not a reason for great concern. However, I hope it does remind us that the virus is still here and that we still have to be very careful as we move forward. This is the first increase our community has seen since the spike in cases that took place after the long Thanksgiving weekend in October. Our public health officials strongly believe that the spike in COVID-19 cases was connected to personal gatherings over the Thanksgiving weekend. Yesterday was Thanksgiving in the United States, and I want to send my love and best wishes to our neighbors across the border gathering throughout the weekend, obviously with COVID-19 measures in place. Last week I asked our own community members to consider staying home this year because of the continued threat of COVID-19. There are many ways to visit and stay connected virtually, perhaps taking the time to teach or learn a new way of connecting with your friends and family, such as Zoom or FaceTime. Again, for Christmas shopping deals, where we ask that you try online ordering, curbside pickup, or shopping locally to support our local businesses within our community. We know that the number of cases in the United States is much higher than ours here in Canada, and that by traveling there, you are putting yourself and your community at higher risk of catching and spreading the virus. If you did decide to go ahead and travel to the United States, you must self-isolate for the 14 days after your return home. While you isolate, please monitor yourself for symptoms of COVID-19, like a fever, dry cough, or shortness of breath. It is important to remember that a person can be infected with the virus without showing any symptoms, so you have to self-isolate whether you're showing symptoms or not. You can visit sixnationscovid19.ca for more tips on monitoring yourself for COVID-19 symptoms. To those returning from the United States, we ask that you please contact our public health officials at the Six Nations Assessment Center to let them know of your travel and your plans to self-isolate by calling 226-446-9909 or their toll-free number at 1-855-977-7737. You could also make arrangements with them for a COVID-19 test. I want to thank you in advance for making the responsible decision to self-isolate to not only protect yourselves but also your friends and family around you. Each of us must remain vigilant and take every measure we can to stay at home and stay away from the threat of catching the virus. In other news this week, our elected council approved the Emergency Control Group's new system for monitoring how our community is doing in the fight against COVID-19. The new color-coded system will reflect Ontario's, although ours will have some additional measures to reflect the realities of our community and the fact that First Nations peoples are more likely to catch, spread, and experience the symptoms of the virus. Our Emergency Control Group worked with public health officials, the Six Nations Police, our communications team, and many others from the community to create this new improved system. We ask that you please stay tuned to our website and as well as our Facebook and Twitter channels as we will update these, provide more updates to this with more information on this new system and what it looks like. And remember that the color we find ourselves in and whether we increase or decrease public health measures depends on how well we as a community listen to the current measures that are in place. I would also like to remind everybody that face coverings are mandatory in all indoor public spaces and for ride services, as well that unmonitored indoor and outdoor gathering sizes have been reduced to household members only. And as a continued precaution for the health and safety of our elders and knowledge keepers, non-essential visitors are still not permitted at your call lodge at this time. We continue to strongly encourage members not to travel to the hotspot areas, including the Toronto, GTA, and Peel regions, as well as Ottawa, Hamilton, and the United States unless absolutely necessary. We continue to plead with any visitors or returning members to please respect the COVID-19 measures we have in place, including the responsibility to self-isolate and monitor yourself for symptoms, especially after any travel. Contact tracing is still a very important tool we use to contain and slow the spread of COVID-19 within our community. So please consider keeping a journal or using a voice recording app on your phone to keep track of your activities and the people you've been in contact with over the past 14 days. You could also consider downloading the federal government's COVID-19 alert app. And again, we all must continue to follow the core health and safety principles in the fight against COVID, which are staying home when feeling ill, even if your symptoms are mild, only leaving your household for essential purposes, only gathering with those within your household, maintaining physical distance from others outside of your immediate household, wearing a face covering when in public places, cleaning your hands regularly with soap and water or hand sanitizer, and as well regularly cleaning and disinfecting commonly touched surfaces within your home and at your work. Again, if you would like to arrange a COVID-19 test, we ask that you please call the Six Nations Assessment Center at 226-446-9909 or toll free at 1-855-977-7737. A couple of other important numbers to remember include the COVID-19 hotline for businesses, which is 519-750-4908, as well as the Emergency Food Support Service at 519-717-3403. A reminder that they are open Mondays, Tuesdays, and Fridays from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. In other community news and as a direct response to the COVID-19 pandemic, the elected council is leading the Internet Towers project. Again, the main goal is to enhance Wi-Fi connectivity for our students learning from home, as well as all of our staff and members who are working from home. This project is part of a larger plan and strategy to strengthen our community's ability to connect to the internet. Starting on November 30th, we will hold our first of 6 virtual information sessions where community members will have the opportunity to learn about the project itself and to share their questions and concerns. The other sessions will take place on December 3rd, 7th, 10th, 14th, and wrapping up on the 17th. Again, this is to ensure that every member has a chance to listen, learn, and share their thoughts. Again, we ask that you please visit our website, Facebook, and Twitter channels for specific times and information on how you can join the sessions. I'd also like to take this opportunity to welcome Six Nations' own Cindy Jameson as the new Director of Ogwini Dao. She brings a wealth of experience to the role and will ensure that Ogwini Dao continues to deliver quality child and youth protection services in a culturally appropriate, effective, and accountable manner. Cindy has over 20 years of experience in child and family services, as well as infant and support child development, and working with youth both here in Six Nations and in British Columbia. We want to just congratulate Cindy and welcome her aboard. In other community news, yesterday the elected council informed the courts of our wishes to end injunctions on our people. We hope that this is a step towards healing all relationships within Six Nations. We know that getting the best results for our people means creating a united front within our community to increase our strength, wisdom, and knowledge as we look towards working with the Haudenosaunee Confederacy chiefs and clan mothers, as well as Ontario and Canada to settle our land claims within the Haldimand Tract. From the beginning, I have encouraged all parties to engage in an open and respectful dialogue that is guided by good faith. Our elected council continues to engage with all parties almost daily to find ways for a timely resolution to the current situation and to all of our outstanding land claims within the Haldimand Tract. Our land claims process has been driven by many of the same reasons the land defenders have been occupying the site. We hope to find justice and healing for our entire community through the resolution of our claims within our Haldimand Tract. We continue to call for a peaceful resolution to the 1492 land back lane dispute that avoids violence and destruction at all costs. We also continue to encourage all Ontarians and Canadians to listen to the land defenders and learn about the true history of not only the land under dispute, but of the entire Haldimand Tract and what that means to Six Nations. This conflict goes much deeper than the site and extends much further than over 100 days, and we encourage you to educate yourself more on the history. Again, and like each week, I want to extend my gratitude and appreciation to our local radio stations for allowing me to continue to provide the community with these regular updates. We are very fortunate to have 2 local radio stations, which is another important element of our community's ability to gather and share important information and strengthen our culture and sense of community. Until next Friday, please stay safe, stay healthy, and please take care. Thank you, Carla, and we will see you next week.
Yeah, see you next week. Again, thank you for coming and doing this update. We look forward to next week's update. Have a safe weekend. Enjoy it. We now have more music on the way.